Now all of a sudden everybody knows. Like we've been telling you this since the 60s.
Right.
Yes, 400 years. But what is still happening in the media, in TV, they're still identifying themselves as African Americans. When Deshaun, what is it?
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson went in and said that the Hebrew Israel, the true Jews were black. What did they do to him? They shut him down. When Nick Cannon came out and said the true Jews were black, they fired him from his job. They took his show from him, and he had to what? Be re-engineered and have so-called Jews up there to talk about their history. Ice Cube is coming out saying the true Jews are black. But why? Because the true Jews, they know, are going to run the new world. And they're afraid of that. They don't want to tell you, oh, you the next kings and priests of the earth. They want you to keep thinking, you the niggas, spicks and spooks. You keep shooting each other down in the streets, murdering each other, and searching for the white man's dream. So yes, what we're saying is controversial. Why? Because nobody's telling our people. Because nobody wants to hear the truth. Nobody wants to hear the truth. That we've been lied to, from your identity to your nationality to what you serve, to what you worship, to what you eat, to how you dress. It is not of our nation. It ain't got nothing to do with us. The white man brought us here as slaves, and we adopted all their identity. So, why is it important to know that we're the true Jews that the Bible speaks of? Because your identity, your nationality, your Savior is going to tell you how to do things right, correctly now.
Shalom, sound.
The sound.
Okay, it's good. It's good.
So, you understand? Am I moving too fast? Okay. So why are we going to Deuteronomy? This is one of the most, if you listen to what this brother said about when he learned the truth, what's the first thing that caught him was Deuteronomy. Why? Because if you ever seen Roots before, and you read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, from the 15th verse on down, you start to see that Roots was stripped from the Bible. And it was stripped from the Bible, but it was our history. Because it's not a lie. Roots, the movie, what they portrayed is not a lie. Even though it was in the movie, it was what we went through. The cargo slave ships, the beating. No, you ain't Kunta Kinte. You know what I mean? We went through that. But the problem, what they didn't tell you, was that you were the true Jews that were going through it. This is what they don't want you to know. So we're in Deuteronomy 28 and what?
15.
Go ahead.
But it shall come to pass.
Right.
If thou wilt not hearken.
No. Where were you?
28 and 1.
Right. Read on.
And all these blessings, this is verse 2, shall come upon thee.
So if we would have listened, we would be blessed. We would be blessed. Right now, you had all these NBA players upset, people crying, baseball players crying. I can't believe after all this time we are treated like this, crying. But why? Because we're constantly trying to do it the white man's way. It's not going to be man's way. It's got to be the Creator's way. So what? We're not living it up on high. And I know you're saying, well, there's a few black successful people, but look at them. And look at how they got there. What did they have to do to get there? Tyler Perry dressed up like a woman. Oprah, she had to deny God. She's a dang atheist. Right? All these rappers, do I gotta say it? Come on. We already see what they do. They either gotta bend over, dress like a woman, or preach about selling drugs and killing each other. So none of that is benefiting them. So yes, we got a little money, but they're realizing, just like the NBA had a pause for 3 days. But guess what? They had to get their ass right back to slavery. Right back to work. Why? Because you know what Master told them? Listen, we have a bottom line. I understand how you guys feel. You're angry. But how is this going to help out the bottom line? If my check get cut, nigga, your check gonna get cut. And that's how they were like, you know, go and look at all the feeds now. Now it's like, you know what? We got to think about the long term. We got to think about, you know, this is not going to stop the systemic racism. Like, shut the hell up, nigga. You talking about money. And that's the bottom line. They want success through this world, through this kingdom. And we would have had this success if we had listened to the Most High. Go ahead and read on.
If thou shalt hearken
right
unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Go ahead.
Blessed shalt thou be in the city.
We will be what?
Blessed shalt thou be in the city.
Right. Somebody jump up to verse 15. We would be blessed in the city. But are we blessed in the city? No. Anywhere you go throughout the world, why they have to march for Black Lives Matter? Because you're not blessed. You and them Europe, and they marching for Black Lives Matter. Why? Because you a nigga in Europe. Oh, what about in France? Is there something going to change? No. You a nigga in French. Right? Yep. You go to Rome, guess what? You a nigga there. Spain, you a nigger, you're a nigga there.
In Europe, they really don't like us. When you deal with France, they don't like black folks out there, man. They don't like no Americans.
Nah.
Or you go to Africa, everybody, let's go run to Africa. They call you a kata.
Yeah.
Cotton picker. Don't care about you, man.
Because that's not your identity. That's not your nationality. So what did it say, Karatazar?
Blessed shalt thou be in the city.
Right.
And blessed shalt thou be in the field.
We know we didn't get that and we're not getting that. What happened? Jump to verse 15.
But it shall come to pass.
Go ahead.
If thou wilt not hearken.
If you don't listen, if we didn't listen, and we wanted to be like all the other nations, like our people want to do, we want to dress like them, talk like them, act like them. We really want to be a part of America so bad. Yep. And what is America always doing? Shoving your face in the doo-doo. Yep. Reminding you, we don't want you. Not welcome. So he said, read on.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Go ahead.
To observe and to do all his commandments.
Go ahead.
And his statutes.
Right.
Which I command thee this day.
Not just the top 10, because that's what religion told you. That we got 10 commandments. No, we have moral laws. Moral laws embody certain laws in there were the adultery, how you treat your brother, if you borrow something from your brother, how you give it back. Those are moral laws. You don't sleep with another man's wife, right? That's a moral law, right? Then you got civil laws. How to govern and run a nation. The Bible tells you how to do that. America ain't doing that. You know, a civil law, as a king, you wouldn't charge people for water. Water is a natural resource that comes from the earth. You can't monopolize on water, man. Right. But the white man stole the land, stole the water, stole the air, and said, oh, if you want to fly your plane above this height, that's American airspace. You owe me.
Think about it. You can't even gather rainwater.
Right.
Legally.
Right.
If you do, it's illegal.
So you got to understand that. Why did Christ say go to the Israelites? Because he said they were lost. We are the ones right now walking around in 2020 still confused, getting murdered. How come it's nobody else? Think about this. How come is the so-called black man, Native American man, Hispanic man getting murdered? Whether on the border or right here up front. Why? You got to think about that. Because there's some anger that's meant for us. But it started out with us being rebellious. We wanted to do what all the other nations did, and the Most High cursed us. He said, okay, if you want to be with them, here, be with them. Let me show you how they're going to treat you, deal with you, act like towards you, being that they know you're the kings and priests of the earth. Go ahead and read on at verse 15. You're good, Ox. You can sit down, brother. Go ahead.
That all these curses.
That all these what?
Curses shall come upon thee. And overtake thee.
Go ahead.
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
So anywhere we go, in any city through the world, you're still a Negro. You're still a Mexican. You're still a Haitian. Those ain't our names. Your skin is still your sin. That's why you got to watch how you act. You got to watch how you roll. Because if not, they pull your black ass out the car and shoot you in the back 7 times. Why? Think about it. You look like Jacob. Right? You look like you fit the what?
Description
of anybody 4 feet, 7 feet tall.
Right. Like
300 pounds.
Right? You fit the description. But that was the curse. Because we didn't listen. Read.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
The field represented the world. Anywhere we went through the world, that we would be cursed. So we go through other cities, and guess what? You curse. Why? Because they look at World Star. They look at YouTube. You fight each other. You're feeding your babies blunts, and they're like, man, little Shanghai, little Mulan, do not get with these niggas. Why? Because all they gonna do is what?
Feed them blunts.
They gonna feed them blunts,
mess up their credit
have
score.
their pants sagging, mess up their credit score,
Show the daughters how to twerk.
show their daughters how to twerk, show them how to roll a blunt. No, 100 ways to roll a blunt.
Hey.
So they look at us and the nations don't want nothing to do with us. We're cursed because we act like that. Because we went away from the Most High. And guess what? We start acting like everybody else. Go ahead.
Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Your basket is where back in the ancient days we had farming. So you would go get your goods. That's how your riches, you gain money back in those days. You're farming in your cattle. So think about it. Do we got land? No, we're begging for 40 acres and a mule.
You fighting over projects.
Yeah, we're fighting it. I just heard, God dang, the white broadcaster on man, I watch it.
CNN?
No. He's
YouTube.
No, the basketball cat. What's his name? Kellerman or something like that. Max Kellerman. He was just talking about systemic racism, and he himself was saying it's set up from land-wise. Not being able to get the 40 acres and a mule already put the black man back. This is a white man saying that. Why? Because you now got to hustle that much hard to get a house. But then when you get the house, what? It's really not your house. It's the government's house because you got to pay the taxes. But you are already behind. Why? Because your skin is your sin, your credit score is under 500, and you ain't got good education in your communities, in your neighborhood. That sets you back. That's why you can go right down the street right this way. You can go from the hood to the good area that quick.
Yep, gentrified area.
Why? And it'll show you a big difference. You can stand in the middle, look right across the street.
Yeah.
Be like, crack dealers down this way, not even a mile up.
2 minutes down the street.
And then
a minute.
right up the way, you got the,
nice grocery store.
Yeah, with
a Jews stay.
You walk in the little white dogs that,
Oh yeah.
peace. But the funny thing is, the black man look at that line, he be like, I can't go over there. Master be over there living it up, but he's like, no, I'd rather rob my own brother.
Yep.
That's a curse. I'd rather rob, murder you for your shoes because you broke like me. But why do you think they get angry when we burning down their buildings? Well, they should be burning down. I understand about protesting, but they should be burning down buildings. Why? Because that's in that money. They get angry with that.
That's actually where the Edomite that went in Wisconsin.
The little
he was guarding those.
he was guarding a dealership.
Yep.
And he shot 4. He was 17-year-old. We were just watching it on the way up here. He shot 4 people. 1 in the head, 2 in the Was it two or three?
He killed two.
He killed two, because I know he shot one in the head, he killed two, and then shot somebody else. So this dude's 17 thinking he's damn John Wick.
And his mom drove him down there. His mom drove him down there.
Yeah, because that's the spirit in them.
Yep.
They will murder your black ass. They'll murder anybody. Because they got no love. But why though? Because this ain't blaming it on the white man. How about blaming it on you? When you get the word, you get the knowledge, what happens? What's the first thing our people do? No, I can't stop eating pork. Man, those pepperonis on my pizza.
Where that lobster hit.
Yeah.
Dip that in the butter. Shit.
I can't put that blunt down.
Yeah, that blunt. I've been smoking weed all my life. I can't get past. Look, I got the shakes now when I, right?
Right? That's the only way.
That's how our people think. So this ain't only about the white man blaming it on him. This is blaming it on us. Realizing that we were the ones that were rebellious, stubborn, stiff-necked. He said, if you don't listen, read, come on.
Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body.
The what?
The fruit of thy body.
What's the fruit of the body? What?
Kids.
The kids.
Right.
Go to the mall. Go to the mall. What do black and Hispanic kids do on Sunday over there?
Oh, I let you shout.
Who's the ones the loudest, disgruntled, disrespectful
Breakdown.
in the mall?
Blacks and Hispanics.
Number one, well, out here in Virginia, cats out here sagging so heavy. You see all they butt, and they butt, their drawers match their shoes.
I seen someone yesterday. He had like a Desert Eagle on his.
There it is. 50
This
cal.
gun was so damn
Yeah,
big.
50 cal.
He couldn't hold his pants up because they were sagging. With a gun, like, it had to be about a 45 on his side. And I'm like, bruh, like, before you even reach for it, I'll pull your pants down and punch you in the face. Like,
Right.
but the ignorance, when you look at the malls,
Yep.
they're running around the malls without any parental guidance.
Come.
The young girls are topping off these young boys in the bathroom.
No bras.
They loud, disrespectful. What do you think their kids are going to be?
Worse.
No, you know what they're going to be? Let me help y'all out. Niggers. That's what they're going to be. They're going to be exactly what the white man calls you. Because he made you, created that, and he let you loose. And we act like that.
Monkeys on a vine.
Yeah, monkeys. That's why they call us that. But little did we know we're the kings and priests next to run the world. But the only way we're going to be that is if we act like that. Otherwise, we are what they say we are.
Border bunnies.
Border bunnies, all that.
Yep.
That's what they call us, and we act like it too. Look at us. So the Bible, historically, we've been doing a lot of rebellious things when you read it. History, from Genesis all the way through, when we became a nation, we would not listen at times, and the Most High punished us because we were his sons. And that's what a father does, whip his sons. So this is called a 400-year butt whooping by the Creator. Read on. Go ahead.
Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body.
The what?
The fruit of thy body.
Go ahead.
And the fruit of thy land.
Because you don't have any land, so we don't even have to talk about that. You don't got land. They stole it from you. The fruit of your body is your children. Go ahead.
The increase of thy kind.
Right, the increase of thy kind, which is your cattle. Go ahead.
And the flocks of thy sheep.
And the flocks of your sheep. Go ahead.
Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in.
Read.
And cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
When they see your little brown buck come out, they stamp you, right? They give you your number, and they look out for you. They look out for you. They watch you. That's why they don't care if you're 4 to 80. They will slam your ass on that curve, put that gun to the back of your head like you stole, like you killed somebody. So when Pac died, no, how about the new age? When Extastation died. When Triple X died. I mess up his name on purpose. Because it's weird as hell. But when he died, how did he go out? Read it again.
Cursed shall thou be when thou goest out.
When he came in, he lived a life in the ghettos and the slums, hurt, pain, and you hear it through his music. That emo music, the suicide music you listen, it was all pain. That's accursed people. Not only him, there's a whole new generation of emos, right? Why? Because they're cursed. They can't get this together. They don't know how to function. And then what the white man tell them? Pop pills. What the rappers tell them? Oh, pop pills. And then if they moms and dads is doing it, smoking weed, getting high, then they doing what? Here, son, pop pills. Let me show you that example. Not a solution with wisdom and understanding. They're just telling you how to do things wickedly.
Yeah, that's why Little Uzi Vert came out and said those that follow him are dumb. Basically said it. He said he sold his soul, and he said y'all are dumb for following me. That's basically what he said on live. It was actually on Instagram. He did it on Instagram too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, because what happens is these kids know they got demons on them.
Yep. No,
they got spirits. They got negative thoughts that rule their decisions and how they think and how they deal. So read on. Come on.
Verse 20.
Read.
The Lord shall send upon thee curse.
He shall send upon thee what?
Cursing.
Read.
Vexation.
And why do you think they're crying? I just seen old boy from the Clippers. What's his name? The coach. Doc Rivers. He was crying. Oh, I'm gonna drop the video, but he was crying like, "What? It's like, are you serious, Negro? You're 50-something years old, and you still don't get it. You still don't get the white man ain't gonna accept you, cause he has hate. He has hate in his heart. Then the baseball player, I forgot his name. He was crying. I'm talking about full-blown tears." Because they just want to be accepted. But it said they're what? Cursing and what?
Vexation.
They're vexed.
Yep.
Because they're doing all they can. They're swinging that damn ball like I'm going to knock this to the outer field. Like that's all they doing. I'm going to dribble this ball. It's like, nigga, that's not going to help you. You can dunk from the one court to the next. And guess what? It ain't gonna save you.
Like the mayor for L.A.
Yeah.
The mayor for L.A. got pulled over. She thought her car was gonna be. Man, they didn't care who the hell you was.
Nope.
Get out the goddamn car.
Just like it was a DA in Georgia.
DA in Georgia, I seen that one. Yeah.
Snatched her out.
Yeah. She's looking at him like, "Do you know?" And he's like, "Yeah, you a nigga. That's what I know."
Right. You smell like grease.
That's vexation. You become all this successful.
Yep.
You smile in their face, right? Yep. You do the white thing. You even let the white boys touch on your butt, because that's what a lot of them do. Ooh, right? What old boy say with the big muscles?
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews.
Oh yeah, he got it. Right.
He went to the little spot and the white boy grabbed on his nuts.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's weird.
But how many black folks let it happen?
Many.
Cursing and vexation. And then they think, look, now I'm going to be accepted. I gave him a little shoe. Right? I gave him a little doo-doo butter. So I'm going to be accepted. Alright, let's be real about this. Y'all know what's up. But it's cursing and vexation. After all that, you sold your spirit.
Yep.
What do you have? Read it again.
The Lord shall send upon thee curse, vexation,
read,
and rebuke.
And rebuke. It doesn't matter. They're going to pull you out that car and you're going to get disrespected. And that's why they're all crying, because they're realizing when they was young, they were just flying through life, but now they got kids. Now all of a sudden, you want to get conscious.
Yep.
It's like, Negro, you've been in the league for like 30 years.
Right.
Now you want to be conscious all of a sudden? because they're realizing their kids gotta live. And they know, damn, my kids are gonna have to go through this. But they're not going about it the right way. America is not our savior. Esau, the so-called white man, is not gonna save us. A job, basketball is not gonna save you. The savior is the wisdom, the word, Christ. That's what was going to save us. Yeah.
Oprah, she put something out about white privilege.
Yeah.
They checked her on
Quick.
real quick.
Oh, Oprah went up to
Zurich.
Zurich?
Yeah, it was Zurich.
Yeah, she went up
Zurich.
to Zurich.
Zurich.
Yeah, she went up there, went into the store. They didn't know who she was.
They said that handbag is too expensive, black woman. Black woman, back, too expensive.
Cursing and
Said
vexation.
it was too expensive, man.
Now, if you thought that was talking to the so-called Jew, ask yourself, read a little history. The so-called Jews own a lot of the world's wealth. They're not going through this. You go to their communities, they got their wives in order. They kids, they ain't walking around with yarmulkes on and all black and then sagging their pants and toting guns. No. They kids in order. They wives in order. Go look up a picture of Jews online, so-called Jews online.
Oh yeah.
Every picture you got, they with their wives, they with their kids, they with their daughters, and they all in order. But the black man, go type it in World Star. See how we roll.
Man.
See how our nation rolls. Cursing and vexation of spirit. Come on, read.
In all that thou settest thine hand.
In what?
In all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do.
Go ahead.
Until thou be destroyed.
See? You're listening? That everything by us disobeying God, everything we put our hand to will be destroyed. You're not going to get blessed unless you do what the commandment says. It don't work. If you read history, if you can't see what's going on today, then you're just blind. And that's what the Most High is showing us. Everything they put their hands through, man. I kind of got choked up when I seen the brothers crying. I was like, yeah, I feel for them, but what happens when you tell the rich, oh, you know what, you got to come out of here? They be like, oh, no, y'all too extreme. It's like, you don't get it, bro. It's time to stand up now. They want to straddle the fence all the time. They want to double dutch. Oh, you know what? We gonna stand up. Stand up a whole 3 days, bro?
Right.
You shut down the whole NBA and sports for 3 days and you guys are standing up? No, it don't work like that. You gotta take a hit.
Yeah, you wearing some shirts.
Yeah. You want to hold hands across the league and all these leagues that shut down for 3 days?
Yeah, give them a season.
Bruh, a season, give them a week.
Right.
Be like, nah, don't come to us. You go to your politicians and tell them. You start hurting that money, really. Yep. But then you got to come together as a black community. Think about how many black rich people there are in the league. And they can't stop a week. And that's why I got mad when they stopped. I was like, I'm waiting for the game. Because you know why? Because y'all are playing. Y'all ain't serious. I knew they were going to do that. Y'all knew they were going to do that. They ain't serious. They were going to get right back on that damn court. You just want to, like Nick Cannon, right? He had to retract quick. He was like the rubber band man on that.
He looked sick on him.
I thought he was going to go right back the next day.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing, that you can see with our people, they're not serious. The only ones that has been serious and put everything on the line, man, and that's why we're the broke people, is the Hebrew Israelites. Going on those corners, teaching the word of the Most High, and not giving a damn what anybody says. We've been saying this for years. Now everybody want to get conscious of it. So 400 years. Stop it. Just stop. Come on, read.
And until thou perish quickly.
Right. What verse are you at?
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 20.
Right. So we can go through a lot of this. remember, what you want to do, what's your name, brother? Dalen? Dalen? What you want to do is read this whole chapter, because you're going to see that this is the script to roots. All right, you're at what verse?
Verse 20.
Verse 20. Jump up to verse 23. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 23.
Go ahead.
And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass.
Right.
And the earth that is under thee shall be iron.
You know what they say during this time? They say you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. That's the saying. You know why? Because remember, if your heaven is covered, you got no rain to bless your crops. If the ground ain't bringing forth food, you got no food. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's exactly what the black, Hispanic, Native American man is dealing with now. Your parents can't work one job, you got to work two jobs. Yep. Look at what they're doing, arguing about stimulus check, about unemployment to help during this pandemic. When the pandemic happened, what these demons say from the go? Oh, we're going to take care of y'all. We're probably going to have to do about 2 or 3 stimulus checks. Negro, please. They can't even get a second one out. Why? Because the rich got their money with that first one. Now, we don't care about the poor. So you're always stuck between a rock and a hard place. Amazon and Tesla went to $2 billion. Their stock said, Amazon said, but the poor, you gotta what? You gotta get an extra job. You gotta go to the day and get canned foods. Right? Because why? And it might not just be you. When I'm saying this, when the Bible's saying this, it's not talking about one individual. Because we know Oprah ain't worrying about no damn canned foods or Jay-Z or Will Smith. I'm talking about us as an entire nation. Yes, there's some successful black folks. But as a nation, we are still hurting. Remember, if the 1% are ruling, then what the hell is the black of the 1%? Right? Because they always talk about the 1% ruling. Well, then what percentage of the 1% is the blacks, the Native Americans? You see that? So the point is that when you look at success, you can't look at it and say, well, it's achievable. It is. It's achievable. Then why are all these basketball players, movie stars, and people wanting to all of a sudden stand up? Because they're realizing it doesn't matter how much success. You're still going to be stuck in a rock and a hard place because you're depending on a nation that's not ours. Go ahead, read.
Verse 24.
Go ahead.
The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder.
Right.
And dust.
Read.
From heaven shall it come down upon thee.
Obviously, you know what that means, right? You ain't going to get blessed. Right? And a lot of it happened because we disobeyed the laws and commandments. You want to know why all is commotion in your house? Why is chaos in your house? Because you're not doing right. We, as a nation, are supposed to be following the righteousness of the Most High. That's the only way a house can be established. If not, what are you going to have? What happens if you get with a woman that don't believe in the scriptures? What happens?
Confusion.
How so?
She don't want to follow.
She don't want to follow.
She's the opposite of you.
Right. So you're thinking, you know what? We're gonna celebrate the Passover. She want to do what?
Celebrate Christmas.
She want to do Easter.
Easter egg hunt.
Yeah. You're saying, nah. You know what, baby? You know what? I don't eat pork. Oh, but you know me. I want pork. My house. Then, how is that household gonna look?
Chaotic. Divided.
So why don't we get with women that don't believe? Why don't the women get with men that don't believe? A house divided can't. It's pointless. You gonna be a baby daddy, you gonna be a baby mama, and it's another division. So your mind got to be in this, or what's the point? This is going to be like it is out there in the world. Chaos, confusion, negative, discord, hatred. Look at all the rappers. They get with all these hoochies 1 year. Next you know, the next year, they already divorced. They already a baby mama. They already trying to get money. Why? Because they don't got no wisdom to deal in these relationships. They just looking at a big booty.
Yep. Be like Trey Songz. I ain't got allegations on you.
Yeah, exactly. So your mind got to be in this. Our mind got to be in this to be blessed. Our houses ain't going to be blessed unless it's in the word of the Most High. Or you're just still going to be a nigga. You still going to be a spick, a spook, a wet bag of nothing to nobody. Not only to the white man, but we're rejecting the Most High. The Most High is like, okay, I'm going to give you over to what you like. Read, come on.
Verse 25. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies.
Wait a minute, read it again.
The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies.
Right, when you look at, what's his name, Jacob Blake, smitten. This guy can't walk. Alton Sterling, smitten. Who else? Name them all. Trayvon Martin, smitten before your enemies. Tamir Rice. Smitten before the enemies. Sandra Bland, smitten before our enemies. I said that. Alton Sterling, who else? Huh? Breonna Taylor, smitten before our enemies. This is what the Most High is telling us. It's not going to stop until you start saying, wait a minute. Money ain't going to do it. The white man system ain't going to do it. The American dream ain't going to do it. The only way this is going to stop is the Creator serving Him in righteousness and holiness is going to stop. Read.
Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them.
Yeah, when you go and you look at the riots, all these cops, they got one guy down. You had like 10 people try to swerve the cops. All those people just spread out. Why? Because they got no power. Unless you're going out there blowing these cops' heads off, which don't do that, because if you do that, it's over. Right? You don't got no power in your hand. We already seen that. What happened to the not effing around crew? I don't hear them. Where they at? Did the white man start already taking them off? You don't hear about them. Why they ain't out there in Wisconsin? And if they do go out there, what they gonna do? March again? And if they did go pull guns, what's that gonna do? What? The white man gonna come in with the military and show them, I got more power than you. The only one that's gonna do this is Christ. He's gotta take them out of power. He's gotta destroy this kingdom. Read, come on.
And shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
And that's where we were. We were removed into every nation. And our people are scattered throughout the world. They're scattered amongst all nations, kindreds, and tongues. That's what the Bible says. What verse are you at?
Verse 26.
Jump to verse 28.
Verse 28.
Go ahead.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness.
World Star is what?
Madness.
Our people on media takeout is what?
Madness.
Madness. Instagram is what?
Madness.
TikTok is what?
Madness.
Why? Because all of our people on there, they ain't doing nothing. It's madness. What are they learning? How are they educating themselves? How are they raising our nation? We're just following what the white man says, what America says, or another nation, or some stupidity. He will smite you with madness. Our people are mad. You want goodness, health, wholesome. You want power, but you don't know how to get it. You want freedom and peace, but you don't go to the power that's going to give it to you. That's why he said there's no peace unto the wicked. Says that in Ezekiel. Go ahead.
And blindness.
And what?
Blindness.
Not only are you mad, you're what?
Blindness.
Our people are blind. Because all that crying they're doing, if we sat them down and said, okay, brother, let me show you what's happening. let me take you to Deuteronomy 28. And this is what you got to start doing. You got to start pulling away all these things. Oh, well, oh, no, I can't do that. It's like, so it's not worth your kids getting murdered in the street. Oh, man, no, I'm going to eat pork. Oh, no. Oh, Christmas?
Can't give it up.
Yeah, but brother, Christmas is not in the Bible. Oh, no. That's why the Most High, watch, jump down to, you know what? Before I jump there, jump to verse 30.
Come. Verse 30.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt betroth a wife,
Uh-huh.
and another man shall lie with her.
That's a curse. What the rap game is promoting is a curse. What they did to us in slavery, when they took your wife, laid with her, and had those little mixed seed, right? And had those babies, that was a curse. Now, who does this sound like? Tell me this sounds like the so-called white man that's calling himself the Jew. Hell no. This ain't them. This is your nation, your people. Go ahead.
Thou shalt build an house.
Great.
And thou shalt not dwell therein.
Now think about it. Who you see building those houses? The Mexican brothers. Yeah. Our people.
The ones that they hate.
The ones that they hate. They build the mansions and then what? Go back to their shack. You build the house and then you build their corporations. Yep. How's Amazon giving billions by paying you hundreds? Yep. By paying you hundreds. That's how they get billions. Right? Read.
Thou shalt plant a vineyard. And shalt not gather the grapes thereof.
Right. Every time they show that, they show the crops, and who's doing that? Our people, the Mexican brothers and sisters, right? They're getting, they're laying the land, taking care of it.
The ones that they say is lazy.
Right. That need to go back to Mexico. They doing all the work. Jump to verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
And our people want it that way. Yep. This scripture right here hit me. I seen, well, it might have been on World Star. It might have been on somewhere social media. But the sister was like, man, it might have been on Facebook. She was like, it's been 3 days homeschooling. I'm tired. I'm sick. It's like, you can't be around your kids 3 days? The white man. Hold on, I'm getting my Laka Rob voice. Sorry. Right. The white man gotta take care of your kids too. Yep.
We'll take care of them, all right.
Our people don't even want to take care of their kids. 3 days she was frustrated. Wow. Yeah. But the scripture says that they be taken from us. You giving them up. Read it again.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Go ahead.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
Who was that? Kizzy? What was her name? Kizzy? Roots? Right? She was taken and she was given to one people over here in Tennessee, and then the son was given over here in Kentucky, and then we were given away. And nowadays we don't care. You go deal with any other nation. Go ahead.
And there shall be no might in thy hand.
And no matter what we do, all the marching, no justice, no peace, right. No justice. Black Lives Matter. I'm angry right now. I heard this cat saying that. I'm upset. You're like, yeah, you are, bruh, but do they care? No. Our hope, our faith, got to be back in the Creator. That's how it's going to stop. Read.
Verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
Ooh, go ahead.
And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
Oh my God. Whoo! You're going to be crushed. And until you put your trust in the Most High, you will be crushed. 36.
Verse 36.
Go ahead.
The Lord shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
And we didn't know this nation. You just grew up here. You think you American. That's why with their little stout face, the little smuckering face, you look at them and like
monkey lips they got.
Yeah, like I ain't got no part of this nation.
Yep.
You stole everything from my people, man.
Con.
What are you talking about?
And then they look at you like catch up or white or you have the same advantage.
Yeah, we
don't.
got the same advantage. But that's what now this systemic racism is coming up.
Right.
They're really like, it's upsetting to us because we're like, damn, we've been saying this for a long time.
Right.
For a long time, and then now everybody's getting conscious.
Putting things in perspective.
Which it's supposed to be happening because this is the will of the Most High.
Con.
The Most High said, who shall rouse him up? And that's what the Most High is doing. He's rattling and rousing up the lion of the tribe of Judah and waking up the ones that do have a backbone. But let's be real with this. A lot of our brothers don't got a backbone. They want to just what? Man, they want to be like that young lion, that crouching lion. Man, I just want to chill, man. Y'all too extreme, man. Like, okay, so your kid's getting shot in the street. You ain't extreme until it's your kid. That's what upsets me.
Yep.
Like you don't want to stand. You want to do afterwards, right? Then you want to act like you vibrant and you got zeal. Why not be doing that for our nation beforehand? Because they're not taught about our nation, our people. They're taught individualism. And what the Most High is doing now is teaching us that we have to unite as a nation, as a people. Go ahead.
And there shalt thou serve other gods.
Right.
Wood and stone.
Right, and that's what we do now. What are you serving? Wood and stone. That Christmas tree is wood. Or you call yourself a Muslim? That's a stone. That ain't got nothing to do with us. You're Buddhist? That's a stone you worship. That ain't got nothing to do with the Most High. The cross, wood. That ain't nowhere in the Bible tells us we supposed to be walking around with crosses. That ain't got nothing to do with us. Read. Come on.
And thou shalt become an astonishment.
A what?
An astonishment.
And that's what it is. Everybody's astonished. The whole world is astonished. And we're looking like this has been happening. What are you talking about? They're like astonished at this. This has been happening. Rodney King got the ass whooping of an age. His ass whooping went all the way to 2020.
Oh yeah.
You can still look at that video and be like, dang.
And they
didn't stop.
And they were right there at the court, the same thing, just looking for the verdict.
Right.
Then they start crying when they heard not guilty.
Not guilty.
They beat the kneecaps off that brother.
Yeah. And what they do afterwards, put him up there. I wish y'all all did die. Right. Make it all right.
Oh, you're right.
Come on, read.
It's very sad, man.
A proverb.
A what?
A proverb.
And that's what we are. We're just a rap song. We're just a proverb, something that somebody talks about, makes a fun of. Right? A saying. Go ahead.
And a byword.
Right. I jumped the gun on that, but a byword too. Same thing. Go ahead.
Among all nations. Whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Right. Jump to verse 43.
Come.
Go ahead.
The stranger that is within thee.
Go ahead.
Shall get up above thee very high.
And that's what we're finding out. No matter what we do, they're still above us. Nations could come over here from other countries and they still have more of a chance than you. That's why they have a what? African town. They got a Chinatown. They got an Indian town. Where's your town? The ghettos, the slums. And don't get bougie on me because you feel like you're living in a good neighborhood.
Right.
Right?
Well, I
ain't in the hood.
You don't have the mineral rights for your house, so.
Right. This ain't about just because we live in a good neighborhood. What about all of our people that are still in these neighborhoods that get shot daily, drugs daily, kids being tossed in the street daily? Right? You forget about that. Go ahead.
And thou shalt come down very low.
Read.
He shall lend to thee.
They own the banks. But there's some black banks. Bruh, stop it. It's probably like 1 or 2 black banks. And if they are, it's a small portion of our people that have success. Go ahead.
And thou shalt not lend to him.
Read.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Go ahead.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee.
Go ahead.
And shall pursue thee.
They what?
And shall pursue thee.
Meaning you can run anywhere you want to. Brothers talking about we got to get up out of America. Bro, you can run anywhere you want to.
Right. West Africa if you want to.
Bro, you still a nigga in Africa. The white man runs Africa. Africans run Africa. That's not our land. You go to Jerusalem, be in our land. The white man runs Jerusalem. Trump is making policies for Jerusalem right here in America. Read.
And overtake thee.
It was going to do what?
Overtake thee.
Read.
Till thou be destroyed.
Who got the Hosea 4 and 6? It says he will overtake us till we be destroyed. And I know most of y'all got this online, but we wanted to give the new brother the reason. How do we know we're the Hebrew Israelites? Because this doesn't pertain to no other nation. All these other nations have their lands, right? Their nationality, their identity. We were the ones left behind. Go ahead and read it out.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 6.
Go ahead.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
So it says, read it again in Deuteronomy.
Till thou be destroyed.
Right, it says all these things would overtake us till we be destroyed. Lack of knowledge, brother. Read.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Because we always keep rejecting the knowledge. We don't want to listen. We want to be hard-headed, stubborn, and rebellious. Go ahead.
I will also reject thee.
So he's going to constantly reject you. Read.
That thou shalt be no priest to me.
Right, that at one time we were a people that had standard. Now we're no priests. When you look at the black man, you ain't thinking priesthood. A holy people, a righteous people. Go ahead.
Seeing thou hast forgotten the laws of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
I will do what?
Forget thy children.
So why they getting shot in the streets? Because he said he will forget your children. Read.
As they were increased, so they sinned against me.
Right. Now jump back to Deuteronomy. Because that's how our people do. We get a little success. We get a nice job. And then what happens? We increase it a little bit. And then we just forget about the work of the Most High.
Yep.
We forget about the duty of what you were called for. You weren't called to be comfortable and be like, oh, you know what, I believe, and then long as I'm in my sealed house. So that's it on the Hosea. Read on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 45.
Go ahead.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon you.
So, no, these are blessings.
Curses shall come upon you.
Well, it's a blessing to be here in America and have, be able to get a nice blunt, a 40 ounce, live in the ghettos and the slums. It's a blessing, right?
Curses shall come upon you.
Bro, the conditions we're in as a cursed people. We are, what's the word when you get the slave and they...
Oh, Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, we have Stockholm Syndrome. We're slaves that have been in captivity so long, they let us run in the yard and we like, well, I'm free, bruh.
Massa like me.
Yeah, I'm good. I can get a job. You don't understand that they took over everything. They got the monopoly board and they giving you the pieces and the money. Right? And telling you where you can move. It's like, that's not life. Do y'all know that? That when we as humans had land, when the Native Americans were here in America, they would move from land to land. They had land. When the hell a Native American was like, well, listen, we got to charge you for sewage, for water, for lights, for gas. Oh, this is the modern age, man. Taxes. Y'all don't get this. That's slavery. You're thinking, well, but that's what it gotta be, right? No. Like, you don't understand. That's like me stealing your house and telling you, okay, to get back in, you gotta pay this amount. When you're in there, everything in that fridge is mine now. So when you make a sandwich, I'm gonna charge you for the bread, the meat, and we're like, but this is my house. No, it's not your house no more, okay? Okay, Tyrone? Okay, Julio? It's not your house no more. It's my house. And we're like, he's doing this and you're doing this, and you, right? And you're like, yes. They're like, yes, and then you're like, I guess, if you say so, master. That's the curse. You, as a human, have rights to live anywhere you want to. You don't need a license to drive. You're human. You're a free man on land. You don't need license to move back and forth. The white man came up with that to keep you in check, to know where you're at, to know what you're doing. See, y'all don't know what freedom is. So we're thinking, well, that's how you got to run the government. Like, worlds run a certain way, and you have. When the hell were Native Americans doing that? When were we doing that in Jerusalem? You read about that with Solomon. And Solomon checked everybody's ID at the front door. Like, you don't read that. The white man came up with that to keep you in line, in order, in check. What?
I was gonna say, good example of that. Y'all had this Uber driver one time, and he was from Africa, and he was like, man, in America, it's so many rules on the road. He was like, over there, it's not like that. He's like, you just drive, and you got to be conscious yourself to watch out for the other
That's
people.
how Trinidad was. Like, you went in certain areas of Trinidad, I was like, where's the stop sign? It wasn't a stop. You just knew, okay, they're going this way. You going that way. You better slow down and look, because you know, right? But we've been so, I know it sounds like a saying, but we've been so programmed. We think, yeah, you got to pay for lights. How else would you get lights? Free. Like, when you lit the match and you lit your light and you put it up, they didn't say, okay, hold on. If that light burns for 3 hours, you owe us.
He saw did that.
But that's the whole point. Until the white man came, you're thinking, well, he came up with the electricity. No, he didn't. All the inventions were made by the black man. And they stole them.
That's right.
So you talk about, well, the sewage. We got to pay to get, why? Why do we got to pay?
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because America taught you to eat the garbage disposal, which is the pig, the vulture, the shrimp, the crab, and the lobster.
So they don't know how to correctly take the pig to use to be the sanitation of the earth, because they're eating the damn pig. Back in the days, you had the pig eat all that up. But now, the big landfills, Mount Trashmore, buried under dirt, right? This is their solution. You're dealing with a nation that doesn't got wisdom of God, don't believe in God. They say in God we trust, but they don't. But you're under that nation now because we disobeyed the commandments of the Most High. Read, come on.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon you,
Right?
and shall pursue thee,
Read.
and overtake thee,
Right?
till thou be destroyed.
Read.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Because we didn't hearken to the voice of the Lord the Most High. We didn't want to hear. We didn't want to listen. We wanted to do it our way. It's no different now. Our people want to do it their way.
Yep.
They always want to cut corners, do it, make it easy on them. We're supposed to be done the Most High's way. Go ahead.
To keep his commandments,
Right?
and his statutes which he commanded thee.
Right, there's more than 10 commandments. Moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, what to eat, and ceremonial laws, how to worship and praise him. Go ahead.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
For what?
For a sign.
So, if we wanted to know who the children of Israel were, it'd be right, a target would be right on their back. A target is right on your back. It's a sign. You live like this, you breathe like this, you think like this, you eat like this, and you've eaten and lived in these curses. Yep. That's you. Go ahead.
And for a wonder.
And for a what?
A wonder.
Right, for a sign and a wonder, because it is a wonder. Mike, when you look at this, it's like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that, huh?
Why us?
Yeah, it's like, why us? It's like, wow, it ain't gonna stop? No, not until you do right. Not until you start following the commandments. Read.
And upon thy seed.
And upon thy what?
Thy seed.
Upon your children. Go ahead.
Forever.
Read.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart.
See, and that's what we're going to point out real quick is the problem with our people. When we hear the word, when you heard you gotta, you know what, not eat pork, it'd be grievous. It ain't joyful. When you heard Halloween, Thanksgiving gotta go, right? Now you want to play with family members that want to do that. Well, I gotta explain something to you. You gotta think about it. I'm gonna say this again. If you as a man brought another man in your house as your husband to your parents and a lot of your family members, right? How would they look at you? They'll let you come right in. You know what? We ain't gonna judge you, right?
We still love you.
But we still love you. Once you tell them Christ is black, you don't follow Christmas, you don't eat pork, they look at you like you chopped off your penis, switched it inside out, grew boobs. That is more power than you becoming a transvestite in their eyes. Why? Why? Because they don't want the truth. So you can't let your family dictate the word of the Most High. When you know what the word says, it's what the word says. They can't dictate you. Long as you know you're doing right in the commandments and the laws and righteousness, you're going to hear them. You might listen. But when you find out it's against this, they can't dictate that. Read on. Come on.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart.
Go ahead.
For the abundance of all things.
Meaning when it comes to everything, when you get that job, it shouldn't be in your mind, well, yeah, I had to get this job. The Most High got that job for you. When you get that woman, because you were with the maniac before, and you waited and you got with a good woman, then you got to realize what? Damn, be patient like the Lord said. He gave me a good woman. The Most High gave me that. He gave me that house. He gave me that car. For the abundance of all things, he blessed me. Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Because we didn't do it that way, we were going to do what?
Serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
We got to get our signs together, man. So we were going to do what?
Serve thine enemies.
Go ahead.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Go ahead.
In hunger.
In what?
In hunger.
When we want food, where do we got to go to? The so-called white man. This nation. Right?
Done.
If you want certain seeds in America, certain seeds are illegal. If you want to grow your own food, you better watch. You got to ask. Right? Go ahead.
And in thirst.
Right? Water, like you were saying earlier, you can't even get rainwater. In certain areas throughout the United States, that's illegal. Right? The white man in Texas, what? Set up his own electricity, his own water. You can't do that. You got to get electricity and water from us. Go ahead.
And in nakedness.
And in what?
In nakedness.
And in nakedness. Anything we want to dress, wear, we got to go to them.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And in want of all things.
Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Go ahead.
Until he have destroyed thee.
And that's what he did in slavery. He put us in chains, in shackles. And now we know, according to Hosea 4 and 6, those chains and shackles are the laws, are the themes of America. The mind state, the ideas, their rules, their government, their philosophies. And we're in chains and shackles. Read.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
Go ahead.
From the end of the earth.
Right.
As swift as the eagle flight.
Well, why does it use the eagle? Because the Greeks, their symbol was the eagle. Why does America have the eagle? This is not a coincidence. The Most High said a nation was going to come against us as swift as the eagle flieth. Not only did Alexander the Great conquer the whole known dark world swiftly, he was the swiftest conqueror. He conquered within 12 years. He was the youngest conqueror too. He went, I think it was 32 when he ended up conquering the whole known dark world at that time. Because remember, he was Caucasian. Everybody else was dark skinned around him. But he conquered all the other nations. And he used the symbol of the eagle. America used that same eagle. Why? Because it's a what? Scavenger. They prey. And America preys on the weak, the poor, the less unfortunate. Go ahead, read on.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Because this wasn't our original language. If we were the Hebrew Israelites, our original language was Hebrew. All right, go ahead.
A nation of fierce countenance.
Go ahead.
Which shall not regard the person of old.
Right.
Nor show favor to the young.
Right, and once again, when you look at all these incidents with these police officers, I'm going to throw a video up probably tomorrow. They took a 75-year-old sister and threw her down. They took that sister and threw her down like she had 75 guns on her.
Right.
He grabbed her from the doorway and threw her ass out. And she was a big sister too. 75. Because they don't regard old or young. Read.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle.
Jump to verse 54 because we got to finish it up so we can get out of here. Verse 54.
So that the man that is tender among you.
Right.
And very delicate.
Go ahead.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Now tell me that's the so-called Jews. In the Jewish communities, they got unity. They have love and respect. You rarely hear about somebody going off in the Jewish communities. But in our communities, you walk down the street, every other day, you in MacArthur Mall here, he shot this person shot that person. Why?
Oh, yeah. Actually, there's a brother supposed to be coming to class that got shot in the mall.
Right. You see that? Because that's a curse that our own people, we are our hatred for each other. Read that apart again.
So the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
Go ahead.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
Why? Read.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
But why? Why is that? Where did the evil come from? If you're destroyed for the lack of knowledge, if you're living like Americans, where did that evil come from? It's in your mind to what? How do you deal with women? You dealing with women according to what? Rap music says. Society says. You ain't married unless you what? You got a ring. So you can they teach you that you can have sex with anything. Same thing with the men. You can just have, with the women, you can have sex with anything. Rihanna came in and said you can walk around butt naked, nipples showing. Now they got all these young girls walking around with no bras.
Yep.
showing their butt, showing their titties at a young age, and want to know why pedophilia is running rampant through America. Because they set you up for that.
Fuel to the fire.
Yeah. So, no, your that respect for the brother, for your sister, for your nation is not there. Go ahead.
So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat.
Right, and we did do that. That specific curse, it happened a few times. When we were conquered in 70 AD, they surrounded Jerusalem. And a lot of our people during that time ate each other. So that was fulfilled. Cannibalism. Because we were conquered and they went in Jerusalem and slaughtered us. After we couldn't eat, we were famished. Go ahead. What verse are you at?
Verse 55.
Go ahead.
Because he had nothing left him.
Right. Jump to verse 56.
So, the tender and delicate woman among you.
Right.
Which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness.
So a young woman back in the ancient days, she was young, delicate, and tender. She was respectful. She wasn't walking around with her butt showing, her titties showing. She wasn't walking around acting like she was a dude. There was no studs.
Right.
These was young women. But what's going to happen with them? Read.
Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom.
Go ahead.
And toward her son.
And that's how they treat them. Think about these women. They ain't growing up being real mothers, real sisters, real daughters, right? Real wives. All they are is just thoughts now. That's all they're labeled as. Whores.
Sexual pleasure.
Sexual pleasure. And if they show their butt on TikTok, that's when you respect them. They show a little boob on TikTok, that's when you respect them.
Yep.
Right? Fans only, that's when you get respect. Right? That's when you get money. So they've taken the value of the woman and put a price on it. And that value is wicked. It ain't really spiritual. It ain't righteous. Jump from there. Let's finish this up. Verse 68. We're going to go to the last curse. Now you can read those other ones, but this is one of the most important one. How do we know that the black man in America are the true Jews that the Bible speaks of? Which one of the major curses? Go ahead and read that.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
And the Lord will what?
Bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Right. The Most High is going to bring us into Egypt, bondage, captivity. That's what Egypt meant. Because the first time we walked into Egypt, right? Moses, Jacob and the 70 souls that were with him met Joseph in Egypt. They walked into Egypt. He said, but this time when you go into Egypt, that word means bondage and captivity. It says there you were going to be sold. So we got to ask ourselves, this is what the first question you should ask yourself. Biblically, whenever did we go back into Egypt? And we're sold. It never happened. But it did happen in our time in 1620. 1620 being the official start of the slave trade. Right? A little before that. But the official start was 1620. You were sold. Go ahead.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
How did the black man come to America?
With ships.
It sure as hell went the so-called white man. The Jews came over here and they were indentured servants. They got paid.
It wasn't the trains.
Yeah, it wasn't the trains.
Auschwitz.
Right, from what'd you say, from Auschwitz?
Yeah, Auschwitz.
Yeah. It said you were going to be come over here to a land, to slavery and bondage with ships. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto unto thee.
And he's saying, where I'm telling you this, go ahead.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
And that's why you don't identify what, oh, Jerusalem's the homeland. Oh, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Oh, the true Jews are black. Why? Because we've been scattered. We've been in slavery so long. Your generation after generation was born here. And guess what? You think you're American. We're not Americans. Go ahead.
And there ye shall be sold.
So not only did you come over here on ships, because a lot of people came over to different lands on ships, but the people that the Lord is talking about was going to come over as slaves on ships and sold. That only happened to one people, the so-called Negroes in America. Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Wait, there are friends.
Enemies.
Well, the teachers, they want to teach us the right thing.
Enemies.
The politicians, they want to help us out.
Enemies.
But the police officers, they're really here for us.
Enemies.
Nah. First of all, the teachers are teaching their ideas. That's not our history. The police officers, I mean, do we really got to talk about that? They here to serve and protect and break a nigga's neck.
Right.
That's what they're here to do. Right? They're here to serve you this staff upside your forehead.
God.
Right? The politicians. What happened? The politicians don't care about you. You hear this every 4 years. Oh man, change is gonna come. What change? What has changed?
More black people died when Barack Obama came into office.
And faggots and transvestites,
That's right.
it's gotten bigger since he came into office.
Bestiality.
Bestiality. Having sex with animals is a thing now.
That don't ask, don't tell law.
Marrying animals.
Marrying animals.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was in the bestiality. Law.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
And there we were going to be what?
Sold unto your enemies.
Go ahead.
For bondmen.
For slave men, read.
And bondwomen.
Enslaved women. Go ahead.
And no man shall buy you.
And that buy, when you look up the definition of that, it means to save or redeem. So nobody was going to save or redeem us out of this condition. We were so beaten, and generations on down, here we are, calling ourselves Americans. But we have to see that this nation ain't got nothing to do with us. Did you have any questions on that? Did you have any questions on that? On anything? Nothing. All right. Well, if you do, we're here. We answer and we go through questions all the time in class. All right. So I had to go through it for y'all that's stuck in there. I know some of y'all got Deuteronomy millions of times, but we had to go for it for the new brother because I don't think he had any kind of idea what we were going over or what we were teaching. So I wanted to give him a little basics on why we call ourselves the Hebrew Israelites, why this is not a religion, that is us coming back to our culture and the laws, statutes, commandments of God and Christ. So I want to give him a little basics on that. So unless do y'all got anything online? Do we got anything on there? Just comments? Right. All right. Well, y'all know the deal. Whatever class we didn't finish up, we'll finish it up next week. Lord willing, we'll be here. We'll be back here. All right. If not, y'all know the deal. You can ask questions tomorrow on the other class and the other channel. All right. So nobody had any other questions? Okay. Well, if that's it, we're going to say shalom, which means peace to everybody online. Shalom. We'll see y'all.